Good morning. Today is October 4th, 2024. My name is Tom Toft. I'm a qualified tax expert with the West Michigan Low Income Taxpayer Clinic, part of Legal Aid of West Michigan. And today I'm going to be talking about don't ignore letters from the IRS that ask for a response. And if you do respond, don't accidentally waive your rights. Now, before we get started, I wanted to mention that this is not legal advice. Nothing in this presentation is a substitute for a private consultation with an attorney regarding a legal problem. The information in this presentation relates to the current state of tax law. Tax laws can change. Now that we got that out of the way, let's get to it. Let's talk about ignoring IRS notices and letters that ask for a response. The IRS sends lots of notices and letters. Some ask taxpayers to respond. For example, the IRS has a question about a tax return. The IRS needs to verify the identity of a person. Perhaps the IRS needs additional information about a return that was filed. It could be a notice or letter when the IRS wants to change a person's tax return. The IRS examination department could be seeking documents, or the IRS proposes more tax owed from unreported income. And these are just some common reasons they may send a notice or letter. There are a myriad of different ones. The important thing is to keep your eye out for letters or notices from the IRS. Do not ignore them. Don't leave them unopened. You just want to take a look at them and see if there is a response that the IRS is asking for. The notice or letter will explain the reason for the contact and give instructions on what to do, along with any deadlines. Don't ignore these notices, and pay attention to deadlines asking for a response. Why? Not responding can cause loss of certain rights to challenge the IRS. Not responding often ends with denied credits, more tax owed, less refunds, and things such as that. So if you ignore the notices, the IRS is just going to usually close their issue without a response from you. And if there's any changes they want to make, they'll move forward in that direction. So again, don't ignore the notices and pay attention to deadlines asking for a response. Now, most IRS notices and letters have a CP or LTR number on either the top or bottom right-hand corner. So when you get an IRS letter or notice, Google that number to get more information about the type of notice or letter. If you do that, you'll be able to get to usually several websites saying, hey, this is what the letter is all about. Sometimes the IRS letters and notices can be a little wordy, a little technical. Googling the CP or letter number is a good way to just get more information about what the letter is really concerning. You can also go to the IRS website, Understanding Your IRS Notice or Letter, at this address I provided here. The IRS has many pages where they describe what a particular notice or letter is, what you need to do, and things of that nature. Now, I want to point out that you should be alert for any certified letters the IRS sends. Now, certified is when it shows up. Usually you have to sign for it. Usually these letters contain very important information about your rights and have deadlines. Here's a couple of examples. On the top, there is a notice CP 2000. The bottom copied image shows a letter 2218C. So these are just examples to show you what it looks like on the IRS communication where they note what type of notice number or letter number it is. Okay, something I must mention, waiving rights. People sometimes mistakenly sign IRS waiver forms agreeing to everything the IRS wants. Several IRS notices and letters come with a form you can sign and return to the IRS agreeing with what the IRS wants to do. Please be wary of signing these unless you fully understand what you are agreeing to. Usually by signing, you agree to more tax, penalties, and interest owed, and waive certain rights to challenge the IRS. If you speak to the IRS for help, an agent may try to convince you that signing a waiver is in your best interest, when it is not. For example, being told to sign the waiver just so you can later ask the IRS to waive any penalties. Don't sign an IRS waiver unless you fully understand it. Ask a tax professional to explain your rights and whether it benefits you to sign any waivers. If you don't understand it, find somebody that can help you go over it. Find a tax professional, give us a call. Just have someone look at it so you know what the implications are on a waiver that you're being sent by the IRS. Here's an example of a waiver from what is called a Notice CP 2000. You'll see at the top in bold, I agree with all the changes. And that goes down and talks about how you're agreeing with it, how you can't file for a refund later, you can't go to tax court. It spells out some of the rights that are being limited and that you're basically telling the IRS, I agree with everything you're proposing. If you sign this and send it back, then you have agreed with all the changes. And it is not really a good defense later to say, I didn't understand it. So be careful. Again, if you don't know, don't sign. Here's an example of another common waiver. It comes from a notice of deficiency. A little bit different format. But again, this is a form that comes, and if you sign it, you're consenting to the proposed changes and waiving rights. Now, I know I've mentioned this a few times, but again, remember, don't sign an IRS waiver unless you fully understand it. And ask a tax professional to explain your rights and whether it benefits you to sign any waivers. The reason I keep saying this is I have had several people come to me in recent months where they have signed a waiver with the IRS, agreed to everything the IRS wants to do, but they didn't really want to agree. They didn't understand the form. And now they want to challenge the IRS, but they have lost some important rights to do that. It's still not the end of the world. There are sometimes things we can do, but it does severely limit some of the choices and options that there are. So it's much, much better to just don't sign away your rights if you're not sure about it. Talking about professionals, there are free professional tax preparers. I like to always mention this. Some people qualify for free tax prep help, especially those with low or moderate income, disabilities, limited English proficiency, or those aged 60 plus. You can look into the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance, we refer to those as VITA, and Tax Counseling for the Elderly, TCE, programs at this website. You can check out United Way's My Free Taxes at this website I give here, or during the filing season, which usually starts end of January or early February, you can call 211 on your phone and ask for free tax preparation. Most of free tax services are only open during tax filing season, but some are open year-round. I want to provide just a few resources. These are different links you can go to, talking about some of the things in this presentation. Also, some sites regarding free tax preparation services. Are there any questions? Okay then. Well, I thank all of you for joining me today. You have a good day, and until next time, goodbye.